Okay, I'm going to react to Governor Cox's words at the very first news conference after Charlie Kirk passed away. I have opinions. Shocker, I know. Let's get into it.
This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation.
100% agree with him up to this point. I cut out the first little part. This isn't his entire statement, but it's most of it. But yes, so far, I agree. Okay, move on. Continue.
I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
Depends on your definition. It was politically motivated. But Charlie Kirk was a talking head. He was a podcaster. He was a pundit. He was not an elected official. Maybe that's splitting hairs, but in my opinion, politically motivated and a political assassination are two different things.
We are celebrating 250 years of the founding of this great nation. That founding document, the Declaration of Independence, that this great experiment on which we embarked together 250 years ago, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights.
I hate to be the but actually person, but actually the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776. That means there needs to be a 6 at the end of the year for it to be like a 10 anniversary thing. So 2026 will be 250 years. We're at 249, just pointing that out.
The first one of those is life. And today, a life was taken. Charlie Kirk was first and foremost a husband and a dad to 2 young children.
Melissa Hortman was the mother of children. George Floyd had children. All of the children who died in school shootings had parents, and many had siblings. Your point?
He was also very much politically involved, and that's why he was here on campus.
Politically involved is one way to put it. Correct. Hateful bigot would be another.
Charlie believed in the power of free speech and debate to shape ideas and to persuade people.
Charlie Kirk did not actually engage in good faith debates. He would show up, and he had a team, I'm sure, helping him come up with stats and memorizing these things, and his goal was to make university students look stupid. And if the tables were ever turned and students made him look stupid, those parts were never aired on his show. A lot of his stats, air quotes here, were not real stats. A lot of them were pulled out of his butt, or he was arguing like political policy, throwing out scripture verses, which is disingenuous as well. So he was not actually open to debate, to discussion. He showed up with his mind already closed, and he wanted to embarrass people and make them look stupid. He was stuck in his own ways and had no desire to learn anything at all. He was never going to open his mind to listen to anybody. He was always thinking of his next retort. Actual debate would have been, and discussion would have been with the professors, and would have been an exchange of ideas. If it's an actual debate, there would have been rules, and so on. He was not into actual debate or discussion, not remotely.
Historically, our university campuses in this nation and here in the state of Utah have been the place where truth and ideas are formulated and debated. And that's what he does. He comes on college campuses and he debates.
If that's what he did, in good faith, I would have had some respect for him even when I disagreed. But he'd never showed up with a good faith intent to actually debate.
That is foundational to the formation of our country, to our most basic constitutional rights. And when someone takes the life of a person because of their ideas or their ideals, then that very constitutional foundation is threatened.
Here I can agree again, because we should not be advocating for violence, and yet the Democrats are the ones trying to seek peace and to calm the rhetoric, and I'm seeing nothing but vitriol coming from the right, wanting to attack Democrats and blame them and incite violence. Make it make sense. And stop it.
Now, we have a person of interest in custody. The investigation is ongoing.
At this point, they had arrested one person as a person of interest, released them, and then arrested this other person of interest. I don't think we know who that one is. The first one was George Sims or something like that. He was actually kept in jail briefly on charges of obstruction of justice. As we know today, the second person they had is also not the shooter. As far as I know, we don't know the name of that other person or why they looked into him and questioned him.
But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law.
With you. So far, yeah. Let's thumbs up. Yep, sounds good.
And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
That was a weird thing to add. Like, gross.
Our nation is broken. We've had political assassinations recently in Minnesota. We had an attempted assassination on the governor of Pennsylvania. And we had an attempted assassination on a presidential candidate and former president of the United States, and now current president of the United States.
This is maybe silly of me, but I'm glad he said an attempted assassination and kept it in the singular, because I'm in the camp that doesn't believe the first one with the perfect photo op that looks staged was actually real. Like the blood on his face was shooting the wrong direction. There's, to this day, his ear just magically grew back. No. So the one at the golf course that wasn't theatrical, that one seems to have been real. I don't know if Cox realized he's kept it singular or if he did that on purpose, but I appreciate that.
Nothing I say can unite us as a country. Nothing I can say right now can fix what is broken. Nothing I can say can bring back Charlie Kirk. Our hearts are broken. We mourn with his wife, his children, his family, his friends. We mourn as a nation.
This one I agree with. We are a broken nation, and we should mourn. As a Latter-day Saint, that's one of our scriptures, is that the idea that our baptismal covenant includes the fact that we will mourn with those who mourn and comfort those who stand in need of comfort. Which, again, is one reason I am anti-GOP right now.
If anyone in the sound of my voice celebrated even a little bit at the news of this shooting, I would beg you to look in the mirror and to see if you can find a better angel in there somewhere.
Here is where I have to deviate a little. I am not celebrating. And I didn't when I first heard he died. I saw the headline on my phone and I gasped. I was in the library and I'm sure they could hear the gasp stacks away. I am not celebrating at all. That said, I understand those who might. And I'm not going to tell them that their feeling is not valid. People who have been hurt so deeply have every right to be relieved he can't hurt anymore.
I don't care what his politics are. I care that he was.
When I saw this live, I thought the next word out of his mouth was that he was a person. He was a human being, someone with value. No, that's not what Cox said next. That he was
an American.
He was one of us and therefore he matters. What? Stop it. Can we stop it with the American exceptionalism and recognize that we are part of a worldwide community, that we are no better than anybody else? And in fact, other countries have figured things out better than we have.
We desperately need our country. We desperately need leaders in our country. But more than the leaders, we just need every single person in this country to think about where we are and where we want to be.
Now that I can agree with. Thank you. Well said.
To ask ourselves, is this it? Is this what 250 years has wrought on us?
249.
I pray that that's not the case. I pray that those who hated what Charlie Cook stood for will put down their social media and their pens and pray for his family, and that all of us will try to find a way to stop hating our fellow Americans.
Yeah, I pray for that too. But that's not going to happen as long as Trump's in the White House and MAGA has control, because they are the most divisive, cruel, violence-stoking group that America has ever seen. Reagan would be ashamed of you.
With that, we're happy to take a few questions.
The FBI director is posting that a suspect is in custody. I would just like clarification. Do you or do you not have a suspected shooter in custody?
We have a person of interest in custody that is being interviewed right now.
That is not George Zinn.
That is not George Zinn. Okay. That is correct.
God, I should point out, for those who've been following the whole Nicholas Rossi thing and have read Just One More and whatnot, that's the voice of Ben Winslow. Just saying. I'll link to the relevant videos in the comments or description or something, but that's Ben Winslow's voice, so let's back it up and listen to it again.
The FBI director is posting that a suspect is in custody. I would just like clarification. Do you or do you not have a suspected shooter in custody?
We have a person of interest in custody that is being interviewed right now.
That is not George Zinn.
That is not George Zinn. Okay. That is correct.
There were a couple of other questions after that, but mostly things they couldn't really answer. When was the current suspect arrested? Have they confirmed that the images on the security camera were matched this person of interest? Yada yada. That was essentially, at least Governor Cox's part of that first press conference on Wednesday the 10th. And my thoughts on it. This whole thing is tragic and awful and all the things. So I genuinely wish his wife and children the best, and his parents and any other family. This whole thing is just so tragic. And I worry that the right is going to stoke up violence, and I pray that doesn't happen. I need some chocolate.